Welcome to another podcast of Adeel Pirzada podcast. Today we've got another exciting and special podcast. But before we go into that, I want you to introduce, as usual, my co-host, Mr. Kevin.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning here, and glad that you could all be here for some construction knowledge.
Perfect. So today's podcast is a continuation from the previous one. The series we're doing, it's a 5-episode series about 5 things about building a duplex. And today is a very interesting topic, which is finding the right contractor, the GC. So we're going to discuss about that. But before I do that, is there anything, Kevin, that you want to ask, you want to discuss, maybe a recap?
Yeah, so this is episode 4 of the
5
collection that we are doing on duplex construction. So far, we've covered step 1 would be to find the right lot. Step 2, episode 2 was designing your duplex. Step 3 was last week, applying for city permits. Step 4, hiring a construction team. Today's valuable knowledge. And we are very certified people to talk about this because we are a construction team as well, and we have hired other contractors to work for us and with us, so we know what to look for and we know how to find and give you suggestions for you so you don't get ripped off. You had a great quality project and it gets done. So let's do it.
Yeah, 100%. And if you need to know anything that we discussed in the past, you can just simply check out our episodes on YouTube, related to this duplex construction, whether it's design or permitting, permits with the city, or finding the lot. So today's topic is finding the right contractor or the general contractor for your project, for your duplex project. So as we discussed in our previous episode when we were talking about the designer, this is pretty much the same thing other than it's the GC who are looking for the general contractor. So when you're looking for a GC or a contractor, number one thing I want to tell you is you should find and look for the right people. Now, there's 3 categories what you would look them for. And those is the price, is the quality, and is the time. So you want to check with the contractors that what price they're giving you based on what is the quality of that contractor, and also based on how long they're going to finish something that you're giving them as a project. But before you do that, before you have a contractor, you can analyze them among those 3 categories of pricing, schedule, and quality. You want to find and get connected with the right contractors. So the right team that they can actually give you the proposal for your construction. So for the search of that GC, when you're looking for that GC, this is what you want to do to find the list. So you want to find the contractors that have the knowledge and the experience in the same field. So I would just kind of go back and I'll tell you how to actually do it. How would I do it? So you can just kind of follow the same thing. So number 1 is that you want to go to, let's say, a local construction seminar. Okay, that's one way. Also, discuss with your architect team. So that's 2. Or looking for a professional contractor over Google or any online services. So those are the top 3 I would suggest. So go visit if there is something locally happening in your town and city, and then there is a convention, a contractor convention or a contractor seminar, attend that. See if you can find the right team over there. And right now, at this time, you're only choosing who get to bid on your project. You're not picking the contractor right now. You're only looking for those people who you think are worthy of looking at your drawings and giving your price. So
before you even can get quotes, get some drawings.
For sure. right? And that was step number 2. And then, we're considering you have the drawings, your permit's been submitted. So now you need to look for the GC. So that's how you would do it. That's someone you already know or someone you come across, maybe these conferences or the seminars.
Would it be best to send them the DP drawings or building permit drawings?
Well,
for those listening.
Yeah, so the first you will have in hand is the DP drawings, right? So that's what you want to send. You want to get them on early as possible. So let's say you find the lot, you purchase the lot, or you figure out to get the lot, arranged for you. And then you want to find the designer, you get the design done, then you want to submit the permit. In that time, somewhere in there, you want to engage the contractor. Like some people may even engage a contractor from day one. And that is a smart thing to do. But a lot of contractors, if you don't have that relationship, they're not going to show up on your job site. Unless, they're not going to come there and tell you something when you don't even have anything writing, like a drawing. And it would, and you won't really get anything accurate. So,
don't waste your time.
But
don't waste their time.
We call contractors or subcontractors all the time on our job sites when we don't have any drawings or paperwork in hand, but that's something different. We know what we want to get done and we can tell them in words and draw it up even if we have to and explain them, and they understand the language that we speak, and then we can get that done. But for you, it's going to be very hard, and they don't know what finishing you got, how many washrooms you got. They don't know those details, so you could be wasting a lot of time. The right way is you have the design, and then once you have your preliminary design, maybe at that time you could engage a contractor, but your final price is not given to you. It's not worthy of signing the document until you have your complete construction drawings, right? So I would, if you're in the process, and all you got is DP drawing, because that's where you are in the process, you can start the process of hiring a contractor. So you can start engaging, like I said, through your personal contact, someone you know, in these conferences. Also, the architect who helped you getting the drawings would be a good source also. Ask them for their recommendation, because if they're in the industry and that's what they do, they should be the first one to help you out, right? So you can ask them what they're providing in terms of their contractor list of someone they have worked in the past and they prefer them. And then you don't want to go by their decision and just say, yeah, my architect recommended, I am hiring that guy. You still want to do your own due diligence for your project. So you can get that list from your architect and see who's worthy of looking at your project.
Now, would you be able to just touch briefly on to how important is it for the owner to know the scope of work for their project? And what is the scope of work from a high level? And then why is that important?
It is important for you to know, and you will figure that out the process during your drawings process. So when you're doing your drawings, your architect will ask you certain questions about what needs to be done. They'll inform you what needs to be done. Also, they'll ask you what you want to see in your house in this duplex. So what kind of millwork you're looking, what kind of plumbing fixtures and electrical fixtures and, the rooms layout, all that stuff is discussed. So if you're involved in that process, you'll know exactly what you need for your house. So you'll have that process laid out for you if you had the right architect to begin with. But when you have the right contractor, this is also, if your drawings are done correctly, they should be able to get all the information off the drawings, right? They may bother you for a few things, for details about finishing, but the majority of the stuff is there, how your foundation is, how big it is, how wide it is, what are the lengths, of certain materials and like items that get put into the house. So your cribbing walls, so your framing walls, your framing design, your roof trusses, all that stuff is in there in the drawings. So they should be able to read the drawings and understand what you're looking for when it comes to construction. They may have some questions from you with regards to finishing, because the cities, the municipalities are not really focused on when it comes to drawings, when it comes to permits, they're not focused on finishing so much. They don't really care if you put what kind of countertop. So sometimes that information is not in the drawings because it's not really requested by the town or the city. So they're missed in the drawings. So you may have that contractor asking you about those finishing details. But that should be the only thing. Everything else should be in the drawings and it should be pretty straightforward.
Awesome. That's very powerful. And thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. Now, with this, we have a couple minutes left here. I know I want to get to the really high priority, high value questions that maybe you as a homeowner or owner or developer have when building a duplex. Is when finding a contractor, should you be price focused or quality focused? What should they do, Adeel?
I think you should be both. I think you should be both because if you're only going to be price focused, you might be missing out a lot on the schedule end. So they're going to delay your project or not make a priority. And also you could also have an issue with the quality itself as well. So you should be focused on everything. And now when you're getting the bid, so let's say you attended a seminar, you found one contractor there. Perfect. Then you went to your architect and he gave you a list and you checked them up and you liked one contractor there. That's perfect. And then you maybe went online and you found someone or something on Instagram, somewhere you've been following and you liked their work. So you found a contractor there. So what I would do, I would take those 3 contractors and then I would get their pricing. And I would rate them in a way where I can rate their pricing, rate their schedule, and rate their quality. And then based on that chart, I'll see at the end of it who I think is the most. So let's say someone has a 5-star in quality, but and a 5-star in their schedule, but their pricing is really high. So you may want to give them 2-star. So you want to see, okay, at the end, what you got from who. You may have another contractor that is a great quality and is a good price, is a cheap price, but their schedule is way out of the window. So that won't work out for you either. So you want to have someone right in the middle. It's not the highest priced, it's not the lowest priced. And they have a good schedule that works for your construction and your lending that you're doing. And we'll cover that in the next episode about the lending. And then also you want to make sure their quality is good. Their recall system is good. If something goes wrong, because remember, these homes that they're going to be building, you need a new home warranty and someone not only according to the warranty, but for you as well. If you're choosing them as your builder, you want to make sure they're available when something goes wrong because they're under the hook for next 2 years. If anything major that goes wrong or anything they install that went wrong with the house, they're on the hook for that. So you're going to be in a relationship not only for the time period they're doing your construction, but also a year or 2 years after the construction is done and they're there for the servicing and maintenance of your property. So that's very key, important. So after you found those 3 contractors, like I said, rate them based on the price, the quality, and the schedule. And then the best winner, like the contender out of that, is something you want to choose. And then you want to have an interview with them. You may want to have an interview prior to they give you pricing, prior to you get them involved pricing. So just to see what they are, what their experience, what they've been doing, how have they been doing things, if they understand the drawings, if they understand what you're looking for. And one way of knowing that you got the right contractor is someone who can share the knowledge back with you. So if you ask them about cribbing and they tell you what you're looking for about cribbing, but they also give you something that you didn't even hear from someone.
So the expertise is strong.
and someone who brings questions to you. So they look at the drawings and maybe there's something missing because there always is. And they bring it up and they're like, oh, great, you got the cribbing, I see the footing, I see the concrete wall, but what about your downspout? Like I don't see any drawings on that or any mention of that. So that's how also you know a contractor that kind of brings up the things that are missing in your process is actually a contractor you want to go with because they will fill up where your architect, where your someone else has missed, and then they will save you a lot of money. So you want to also see what is their knowledge based on their experience and their research into your project.
So there you have it, everyone. We covered very important ways on how to hire a construction team for your duplex construction. Please refer to other podcasts we've done on contracting, general contractors, how to hire the right contracting team. I'm going to be sharing some resources of past podcasts we have done. We'll go deeper into how do you have your budget, subcontractors, times when you'll need a GC, timelines at another date. But for now, hope you took some time to digest that food, that nice quick meal for you. And we'll come back next Friday.
100%. And if you have any questions, do let us know. Do comment and subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.